Warm greetings, Honorable Phil, the New Zealand Minister of Disarmament and Arms Control, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thompson Chengeta. I am from Zimbabwe and one of the lead campaigners of the campaign to stop killer robots on the African continent. Honorable Minister, it was indeed a pleasure to read your statement of 19 July 2021, where you called on fellow states to join New Zealand in designing a policy response that is fit for purpose. For us, from the campaign to stop killer robots, such a policy which is fit for purpose is none other than a binding legal instrument on autonomous weapon systems or killer robots. Honorable Minister Phil, we as campaigners on the African continent, we are encouraging African states to work with the government of New Zealand to start the process of negotiating, or championing at least, the process of negotiating a new legally binding instrument on killer robots, because we do believe this is the only way to effectively govern autonomous weapon systems or killer robots. In that regard, we also encourage and continue to encourage the government of New Zealand to reach out to like-minded states, to reach out to African states, and work together towards negotiation of this very important instrument. The discussion on killer robots have been occurring in the UNCCW for almost a decade now. And of course, there are achievements which can be noted over these past years. Yet, it has become so clear, at least to me, that the UNCCW may not necessarily be the appropriate forum within which a policy response on killer robots that is fit for purpose may be produced. It is in view of these considerations that it is important for states like New Zealand and other like-minded states to start seriously thinking about options of how to negotiate a legally binding instrument outside the framework of the UNCCW. Minister Phil, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I participated in the research and drafting of Professor Christof Heyns, the late Professor Christof Heyns' report on lethal autonomous weapon system that was presented to the UN Human Rights Council in 2013. And as a black person, as an African, one of the issues that was of major concern to me was that not only will killer robots be used in the context of armed conflict, but that they will be also used in the context of law enforcement. And when that happens, people of color and other minorities are disproportionately affected. In my mind, a comprehensive regulation of autonomous weapon systems or killer robots should cover all contexts within which these systems may be used. My legal understanding is that the UNCCW as a convention may only produce additional protocols that are limited in their scope of application to contexts of armed conflict. Yet it is clear that the development and potential use of killer robots may as well affect issues of law enforcement, where certain groups of people may be affected. It is for these reasons, Honorable Minister, that I believe that perhaps the UNCCW may not necessarily be the appropriate forum to produce a treaty that is fit for purpose or that is comprehensive enough to govern the issue of killer robots. Honorable Minister, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, when I then consider that it is very difficult, if not impossible, for states to reach a consensus on the governance of killer robots in the UNCCW, and the fact that in terms of law, legally speaking, it may be impossible for states to produce a new legally binding treaty that covers all circumstances within which killer robots may be used. It makes me believe, it makes me welcome the call by the New Zealand minister for like-minded states to find other ways, to find other fora within which a new legally binding instrument may be negotiated. For that, I want again to repeat my appreciation, my warm appreciation to the minister.